Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into the state of global wealth for 2025. We're going to uncover who the world's millionaires really are, where they live, and how the very definition of what it means to be rich is changing right before our very eyes. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to define our terms. I mean, in a world where $1 million just doesn't stretch as far as it used to, what does it truly mean to be a millionaire today, in 2025?
Just think about it for a second. What's the magic number for you? Is $1 million still the benchmark? Or has inflation and, the sheer cost of living pushed that goalpost way farther down the field?
Well, if you were thinking a bit higher, you're not alone. According to a recent Charles Schwab survey, the average American now believes they need about $2.3 million to feel genuinely wealthy. This number, right here, it shows this fascinating gap between what we feel is rich and the much stricter technical definition the financial world actually uses.
See, in the finance industry, the official term they use is high net worth individual, or HNWI for short. Now, this isn't about how big your paycheck is or the Zillow estimate on your house. It is specifically about having over $1 million in liquid investable assets, we're talking stocks, bonds, things you can actually use, after all your debts are paid off.
But here's the thing, not all millionaires are created equal. The industry actually breaks it down into different tiers. So you start as an HNWI at that $1 million mark. But if you cross $5 million, you become a very high net worth individual. And then you have the truly ultra-rich, the UHNWIs, who have over $30 million in investable assets.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The vast majority of people in that very first tier, they're what some reports call emailies, or everyday millionaires. Now, these are not the people you're seeing on reality TV with gold-plated everything. Nope. They are disciplined savers and long-term investors who built their wealth slowly over decades.
So now that we know who we're talking about, where do they all fit in the grand scheme of things? Well, to really understand that, we need to take a look at something called the global wealth pyramid.
This pyramid, well, it shows the absolutely staggering reality of how wealth is distributed around the world. Just look at the very top. A tiny 1.6% of the world's adult population holds nearly half of all global private wealth. Now look at the bottom. Over 40% of all adults have less than $10,000, and altogether, they share less than 1% of the world's wealth. It's just a crazy imbalance.
And this kind of concentration completely warps our understanding of what average wealth even is. Take the US, for example. For someone in their 40s, the mean, or the mathematical average, net worth is over $743,000. Sounds pretty good, right? But the median, that's the number slap bang in the middle, is just over $75,000. That enormous gap shows you how a small number of super wealthy people can pull the average way, way up.
We know wealth is incredibly concentrated. So the next logical question is, where? Where on earth are all these millionaires and billionaires actually clustered? Well, the answer is, overwhelmingly, the United States. It's not even close. With around 22 million millionaires, the US is home to nearly 40% of the entire world's millionaire population. China is a distant second. And then you have Japan, Germany, and France rounding out the top 5.
And if we zoom in even further, you can see specific cities that act like magnets for money. New York City, the heart of global finance, it leads the pack. It's followed very closely by the San Francisco Bay Area, which is obviously fueled by that tech explosion. I mean, to put it in perspective, those two hubs by themselves have more millionaires than most countries do.
Okay, let's climb to the absolute peak of that pyramid. Time to talk about the most exclusive club on Earth, the billionaires. The latest 2025 Haroon report gives us an absolutely incredible inside look.
The chairman of that very report makes a powerful prediction that really sets the stage here. He says that as artificial intelligence goes mainstream, the concentration of wealth, it's going to get even worse. The gap between the super rich and everyone else is poised to get even wider.
So, just how exclusive is this club? As of early 2025, there are 3,442 US dollar billionaires in the entire world. And get this, that's a new world record, an all-time high for this ultra-elite group. So where is all this extreme wealth coming from? Well, financial services. Think investment banking, asset management. That still creates the most billionaires. But it is very closely followed by consumer goods, which is driven by all those huge global brands, and a rapidly growing healthcare sector, which is being fueled by innovation and, of course, aging population.
But the story of wealth is always changing.
This past year, we saw some very clear winners and losers. As predicted, AI has been a massive wealth generator, just minting new fortunes left and right. On the flip side, industries like luxury goods have cooled off a bit amid economic uncertainty, while China's real estate sector has faced a major crisis. It just shows you how quickly these tides can turn.
Okay, now for our final and maybe the most fascinating topic of all. It's not just about how wealth is made, it's about where it's moving. We are right in the middle of an unprecedented global migration of millionaires.
Get ready for this number. In 2025 alone, an estimated 142,000 millionaires are expected to pack their bags and move to a new country. According to the experts at Henley & Partners, this is the largest wealth migration ever recorded in a single year. Ever.
So where are they all going? Well, the top destinations are places like Australia, the UAE, and Singapore. They're attracting the wealthy with stability, favorable tax laws, and a really high quality of life. And where are they leaving from? The biggest exodus is from the United Kingdom, followed by China and India, as the rich flee things like rising taxes, strict regulations, or just political uncertainty.
And this right here, this is the headline story of the year. For the first time in history, the UK is projected to see a larger net outflow of millionaires than even China. Things like Brexit and changing tax policies are having a profound impact, literally reshaping the global map of wealth as we speak.
So let's boil all this down. What are the three key takeaways? First, wealth is more concentrated at the very top than ever before. Second, technology, especially AI, is accelerating that concentration. And third, the wealthy themselves have never been more mobile, as we see millionaires voting with their feet in record numbers.
And all of this leaves us with a final, really big question to think about. As the world's wealthiest people become an even more concentrated and globally mobile group, what are the long-term consequences? For the countries they leave behind, for the nations they adopt, and of course for the other 98% of the world that isn't part of the club.